Well, the difference between a Jew and a Gentile is pretty obvious, especially during the Greek games when you could tell those that were circumcised and those that weren't, those that would allow people to sit at their table and those that would not allow them to sit at their table. The Jews had very strict rules about how they could interact with the Gentiles, the other nations. The Greek word is ethnos, the ethnics that aren't Jewish people. They couldn't eat with them. They couldn't uh, invite them into their home. You couldn't go into a Gentile's home. And now, though, under this new covenant, Paul and Peter have this clash, and Paul is saying, look, before the Jews came from Jerusalem, you didn't have any problem accepting our Gentile brothers as full brothers in the faith, fellowshipping with them as equals in Christ. But now that our friends from Jerusalem have come, and these Jewish people from James, now you're distancing yourself. That is hypocrisy. And we saw how even Barnabas was carried away, which was just mind-boggling that he would get swept up in that mentality. But Paul calls him out, says, this is not right. And here he's saying, we are Jews by nature and not sinners from among the Gentiles. Nevertheless, knowing that a man is not justified by the works of the law, but through faith in Christ Jesus, even we have believed in Christ Jesus so that we may be justified by faith in Christ and not by the works of the law, since by the works of the law no flesh will be justified. This whole idea is you can be a Jew that keeps the law and keeps the law and keeps the law and keeps the law until you don't keep the law. And when you break one of the laws, whether it's the Ten Commandments or the rules that God gave to Moses about sacrifices, how to observe the Sabbath, which is one of the Ten Commandments, if you break any of those laws, you're a lawbreaker. And not just in the eyes of the judge. And no one except Jesus Christ has kept the law. No one except Jesus. And so we do not find righteousness or justification in the eyes of the judge through keeping the law, because we don't keep the law. We can be saved, whether you're Jew or Gentile, in the same way. And it's not through the law. The law is good. The law was designed to do exactly what the law has done, and that is to show us the difference between holiness and wickedness, sin and evil. So the Jews have a great advantage. The Jews have this advantage that they know God, and they know God's will. They know his definitions of righteousness and wickedness. They know his perspective on sin, sinful activities, sinful thoughts. They know, which is a huge advantage. But knowing God's definitions, knowing God's boundaries, knowing God's commands does not save someone. It's a good thing. These things are good to know. That's why it's good, even under the new covenant, for us to study and understand the old. Because in it, we see God's perspective, his view, and can define righteousness and wickedness, sin and holiness. But that's not where our salvation is. Our salvation is in the righteousness of Christ. Because my righteousness, it can't even save me, much less you. Your righteousness can't save you. It's not that righteous. It certainly couldn't save me also. And so together, you and I, we're in trouble. The wages of sin is death. It is only the righteousness, the faithfulness, the identity of Christ wherein we find salvation. And so this genius design of God to take a sinner and wrap him or her in righteousness, to cleanse to give us a new heart, to give us a new mind, to give us a new hope, to give us his own Spirit, is amazing grace. And I love the idea that we can be saved, but it's not through our own goodness. It's only through the goodness of Christ himself. So as you move through your day, this is Friday, and I pray that your weekend, at the end of the work week, is filled with heaven's joy, heaven's peace, heaven's hope, because that is rock solid. The righteousness of Christ is total, 100%. And if you have Christ, then you have his holiness. If you don't have Christ, all you have is your own goodness, and like mine, that's not good enough. God bless you as you move through your day. He loves you, and we love you too.